इन सब पहलुओं को मिलाया जा सकता है माजिद नवाज की कहानी में। वो अब यहाँ क्विलियम फाउंडेशन के डायरेक्टर हैं। माजिद की जिंदगी की कहानी समझ में भी आती है और हैरान भी करती है। माजिद बहुत खुलकर कहते हैं कि वो खुद एक इस्लामिस्ट रह चुके हैं। इस्लामिस्ट से उनकी मुराद है वो इंसान जो इस्लाम के नाम पर जोर, जबरदस्ती या दहशतगर्दी करता हो। अब उनका काम अपने तजर्बे से सीखी हुई कुछ बातें समझाना और नौजवान मुसलमानों की इस्लाम से दोस्ती करवाना, इस्लाम के नाम पर खौफ न फैलाना। माजिद हाल ही में पाकिस्तान के दौरे पर गए, जहां उन्होंने हजारों नौजवान तालिबात से बात की। वहां बहुत लोगों ने उन्हें सराहा और कुछ लोग उनकी बातों पर नाराज भी हो गए, जैसे कि इन हसास मामलात में होता है।
10 years ago, you made a trip to Pakistan, which was very different from the trip you made recently.
Yeah.
And is it fair to say that then you went as an Islamist?
It's absolutely accurate to say that I went as an Islamist. I went to Pakistan with the specific intent of doing two things. One, radicalizing the society to convince what were the conservative Muslims that their interpretation of Islam must in fact be enforced through state law. And the second was to bring about that change via a military coup.
And this time, Maajid Nawaz was a changed man.
It's been 10 years. In the process of that, I was imprisoned in Egypt. I was adopted by Amnesty International as a prisoner of conscience, and I spent 4 years in an Egyptian jail in Cairo. And what I realized was in fact that I had been sold a lie. And I realized in fact that traditional Islam has always been tolerant and pluralistic. So yeah, I went back as a changed man, and my aim was to try and undo some of the wrongs that I believe I contributed to.
What was that appeal? What did you feel within you that just made so much sense, that you wanted to radicalize the other Muslims, you want to take state power? What was that angst?
I was a very angry young teenager at 15, 16 years old. I had witnessed very, very severely violent racist attacks against my person. I was at one point falsely arrested at gunpoint by the police and accused of suspicion of armed robbery, and released the very next morning with an apology. So these sorts of experiences led me to become very bitter with my society. I met people who, the man I met was a medical student, highly educated, fluent in English, born and raised here like myself, from the Indian subcontinent, and he was able to tap into those grievances and understand them and empathize with them and provide me with an entirely new identity, because I'd rejected being British.
Yeah.
I didn't feel Pakistani because I didn't speak Urdu and I wasn't born there. He provided me with this new identity, which is that you're a Muslim first and foremost, and that your political identity is also Islam.
Is it also in Pakistan that there are other issues actually which are the real problems?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where it should begin. 3 factors that lead to radicalization. The first is the grievances, and then you have the enablers, and then the ideology. If we didn't have those grievances, the enablers wouldn't find anybody who's angry to recruit. And so we have to realize that, of course, there is a lot of legitimate anger in Pakistan, and everyone agrees that Western foreign policy has contributed to some of those problems. Let's move beyond that now and start thinking about what we're going to do about it. If we want to change the situation, there's no use us sitting here complaining about the fact that Britain is behind this or America is behind that. The only way to change the situation is to do something about it inside Pakistan. Do we want it to be a tolerant, pluralistic country where people can say what they want without fear of being assassinated and killed and labelled as agents or as apostates? Or do we want it to be a very closed-minded society where people are censored, where people are scared of saying what they think from fear of reprisals, and where only one very narrow interpretation of Islam is acceptable, and the whole way that Islam flourished in previous times is then denied. We want to reclaim both Islam and Pakistan, the meaning of Islam and the meaning of Pakistan for the majority, because those two terms have been hijacked by the minority of Islamist activists.
So it is possible?
It is possible. I think it is, definitely.